Flowering plants. Plants that we grow purely for the aesthetic purposes, for their colorful bloom, for the shapes and sizes of its flowers. Have you wondered, why does a plant flower? It flowers so that the seed that is formed inside this flower can help develop more generations, help this plant grow more babies. On this earth, there are so many plants that flower, right? Even a brinjal plant that sends out the flower that will become a brinjal is a flowering plant, technically speaking. But we don't classify them in the flowering kind because here we are interested in the fruit. So in today's video, if I have not confused you enough, I'm going to talk about flowering plants. In my easy list of plants, Jasmine is another one. This is Mogra specifically. You also get crepe jasmine, which does very well, which is called Chandni. With these ones, you don't have to worry about. The next one, which is as easy as this plant to grow, is Kaner. I really like this plant because I think I've been kind of harsh with it for some reason. And when I went on a vacation, there was no irrigation outlet for this one. But despite that, it was, I think, not watered for probably 20 days. Good thing about this plant is that it can be a great climber. You can train it to grow vertically. Celosia. I started them from seeds, so it's been about 1.5 months. The leaves are growing well. I started a lot of seeds in 8-inch pot. I think they're too many for one pot, but they should be okay. I would not recommend growing rose. Do not grow rose in this season. If you already have a plant, it's alright, but don't invest in buying rose. The plants that I'm covering for now in this list are the ones that should be able to withstand very hot conditions. The next common flowering plant anybody can grow is Bougainvillea. Bougainvillea can be flowering entire year, but spring is the time when it essentially goes full blast bloom. There are of course a lot of colors in Bougainvillea. The trick that works with it is that don't water it too much. For example, I water this plant once a week. It likes a lot of sunlight. The more sunlight it gets, the more number of blooms, more flowers you would see on it. And water I add whenever, I'm absolutely sure that the soil is dry. Otherwise, you wouldn't see the leaves are growing very well, but you wouldn't see a lot of flowering on it. And of course, as I said, for all kinds of flowering plants, phosphorus fertilizer works very well. If I don't have access to phosphorus fertilizer, I tend to add my homemade compost. That also works well for them. Flowers play a very important role in any garden, especially when you're growing vegetables. You can't be hand pollinating all the plants. You would need flowers that are great in attracting pollinators. Bees, wasps, butterflies. And of course, they add a great aesthetic value. Every morning when I wake up and walk into my garden to see these colorful blooms, it lifts my mood, it calms me. The care of all the plants in this list remains the same. 4 to 5 hours of direct sun, water whenever the soil is dry, fertilizer every 1 to 2 months.